Welcome to the Wholistic Productivity Podcast. I'm your host, Chris LeBrun, helping you achieve your goals in every area of life so you can dream big, plan smart, and live fully. Every great idea you've ever lost to distraction didn't disappear, you just had nowhere to put it. Let me paint a picture for you. You sit down to work, you've got your coffee, your to-do list, your focus locked in, and then out of nowhere, your brain fires off a reminder that you never responded to that email, or you suddenly remember that you need to call someone back, or a completely unrelated idea just pops into your head that feels urgent enough to chase right now. So you chase it. And just like that, the thing that you were actually working on, it's gone. You've lost your place, your momentum, and probably a good 10 minutes trying to find your way back. Does that sound familiar? Here's the fix, and it's almost embarrassingly simple. Keep a notepad or an open document beside you when you work. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just a dedicated space where distracting ideas and thoughts go to wait their turn. When something pops up, write it down and keep going. That's it. What you're doing is not ignoring the thought, you're parking it. You're telling your brain, hey, I heard you. I've got it. Now let me get back to what I was doing. And because your brain trusts that the thought is captured somewhere safe, it stops waving its hand trying to get your attention. It's the difference between a productive work session and a pinball machine. Now, I learned about this strategy early in my career, although I'm a little ashamed to say I didn't use it as often as I should. It wasn't until later that the idea stuck. Though at the time it was less about personal focus and more about team chaos. I was on a team where last-minute project requests were just part of the culture. Someone would drop an urgent deadline on us out of nowhere, and the whole day, or sometimes the whole week, would get thrown off. It happened once, it happened twice, and then it just kept happening. Eventually, I brought the team together and we looked at the pattern. And sure enough, the problem wasn't that urgent projects existed. The problem was that there was no system for communicating them early enough for us to absorb them without everything else derailing. So we built one. We changed how deadlines got surfaced and how we communicated priorities across the team. The disruptions didn't disappear entirely, but they stopped ruining our days. That's the power of noticing patterns, and it applies just as much to your individual focus as it does to a team workflow. In my Holistic Productivity Planner, I have a section called the Detours List. Same concept, but I use it for two things. First, for capturing those distracting thoughts, just like we talked about. But second, logging unexpected tasks that show up and pull me off course. Because those matter too. The random request that lands in your inbox, the quick favor that turns into an hour, the thing that was not on your plan but somehow ended up consuming your afternoon. When you write those down consistently, something really useful happens. Not only do you save time and focus in the moment, you begin to see patterns. Maybe the same person keeps pulling you into things that aren't your priority. Maybe a certain time of day is when the interruptions pile up. Or maybe there's a recurring task that keeps catching you off guard that you could actually plan for. When you see the pattern, you can change the system, just like my team did. So here's the practice. Starting today, grab a doc, grab a notepad, pull up your notes app on your phone, whatever works for you. Keep it open every time you sit down to work. When a distracting thought shows up, write it down and get back to what you're doing. At the end of the week, look back at your list, not to judge yourself, but just to notice what keeps showing up. What is your brain trying to tell you that maybe deserves a real solution? Your focus is worth protecting, And now you have somewhere to put everything that's trying to steal your focus. Let's pause here for a quick break. We'll be right back. If you've ever gone down the rabbit hole of trying every to-do list or project management app, you know how exhausting it can be. You download the app, you set it up, enter all your data, and then scramble to cancel it before the trial ends. Trust me, I've been there and it's no fun. That's why I love Efficient.app. Alex and Andra, a husband and wife team, have spent over a decade testing and reviewing software of all types so you don't have to. Calendars, project management, banking, planners, email marketing, you name it, they've covered it with honest reviews and side-by-side comparisons. And they don't sugarcoat it. If a tool isn't worth your time, they tell you straight up. I've personally found their reviews super helpful when I was trying to sort through different project management apps. It saved me a ton of time and frustration. Best of all, they often have special deals on the tools they recommend so that you can save money. I'm especially grateful to Efficient.app because they've been supporting the Wholistic Productivity Podcast since the very beginning. The best way to check them out and support the podcast is through the link in the show notes. So next time you're looking for software, let Efficient.app do the work for you. Trust me, you will not regret it. You know, thinking about distractions reminded me of an analogy that I heard about fundraising not long ago. I really loved it. But don't worry, I won't bore you with the fundraising side of it. And I've adapted it for productivity. And I think it's really powerful in both situations. But we'll focus on the productivity today. Here's the analogy. If you stand on the bank of a river with a bucket, you can dip the bucket into the river and get water. Okay? And you can do that today. You can get water. You can do that tomorrow when you dip your bucket in the river. You can get water tomorrow. You can do that the day after tomorrow. There's plenty of water every single day. But what you can't do is dip your bucket in the river and get yesterday's water. That's gone for good. And you can never get it back. If you didn't get it yesterday, too bad, so sad. It's over. You can still get today's water, but never yesterday's. Here's where the productivity angle comes in. The same is true with our time. We can use the hours and minutes that we have today, and we can come back tomorrow and use tomorrow's time, but we can never use yesterday's time. Just like yesterday's water, once it's gone past us, once it's flowed downstream, it's gone forever. That's why distractions are so damaging to our productivity. If I get distracted, those hours, that time is flowing past me. I can still have today's time, but if I'm trying to cram yesterday's tasks and today's tasks into today's time, it's just not going to work. Either I'm going to rush through something and not get the quality of outcome that I want, or I'll run out of time and then I'll have to use tomorrow's time as well. The cycle just continues. And oftentimes it gets worse the further along we go. I think we all know this, but I don't think I understood this until recently. Or should I say I misunderstood this, because I thought this meant that I had to always be working. I had to try and cram as much work as possible into today's time. And I want to be clear here. This is not an excuse to overwork yourself today because you'll never get this time back. Because the same is true for rest and relaxation. I can enjoy today's rest, but I can never get to enjoy yesterday's rest or sleep or relaxation again. It's gone. So when we doom scroll on our phone for 30 minutes, for an hour. Yes, there may be some phone addiction that's going on there, but it may be bigger than that. The problem may be bigger than that. It's the loss of a finite resource like time. It's time that we can't get back no matter how hard we try. So that's it for the show today. Just wanted to share that little nugget with you. I hope it resonates. I hope it makes sense. I hope you understand the importance of today's water and in using it while we have access to it. Because if we don't, it will be gone. So glad that you are here. So glad that you used today's time to listen to this show or to watch it on YouTube. I think that is so valuable, not because you're spending time with me, not because you're listening to my podcast, but because you are investing in yourself and in your goals, and you are trying to better yourself. And I'm just so honored that I can be a part of that. Thank you for being here and for spending this time. Make sure you check out the show notes at holisticproductivity.com/55. Make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. I've got new episodes that are dropping all the time. You do not want to miss those. And so that's the best way to get those as soon as they drop. If you got value from today's show, I'd love for you to give a 5-star rating. That's the best way to tell other people about the show. I mean, you can go and tell them and say, hey, listen to this podcast, and send them a link. I would love that as well. But for people that maybe you don't know, that I don't know, that are just out there looking for a way to improve their life, looking for a way to reach their goals, that 5-star rating is a great way to bring them in. So thank you for doing that for them. Okay, not necessarily for me. Thank you for doing that for them. Follow at Wholistic Productivity on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, LinkedIn, YouTube, Substack. I have a lot of great productivity tips and motivation every single week on those channels. You'll want to check that out. You can also join the Wholistic Productivity community. There's a link in the show notes for that. It is full of great people and tons of resources that you can use to stay accountable, to stay motivated. Here's the great thing, and I love this. It is free. It doesn't cost you a penny just to be part of that community and have that fellowship from all over the world. People are there. So again, check out the show notes for that link, and thank you again for listening. You know, I say it every single episode, but the reason that I do this is to help you dream big, plan smart, and live fully. And I'm so excited to see how that plays out in your life as you reach your goals. Man, that is what I am here for. So until next time, take care, be well. We will see you back here very soon.